sergeants, priests of the diocese, and all my brothers and sisters. I'm struck by the wonder and beauty of all the gifts we've been given. Our faith, our friends and family, our freedoms, our freedom to be here in this public place, and to pray and sing. At the center, at the origin of all of these gifts, lies what we hold most dear, Christ himself. This fortnight of freedom is our opportunity to witness to the truth and beauty of Christ. This can be the beginning of our new evangelization. Monsignor Luigi Giussani once challenged a group of students. It's especially fitting to be quoting Don Giussani on his name day today. When in fact the grip of a hostile society tightens around us to the point of threatening the vivacity of our expression, and when a social and cultural hegemony tends to penetrate the heart, stirring up our already natural uncertainties, then the time of the person has come. Our time has come to witness to what we hold most dear, to witness to Christ, who with the resurrection won the culture war over 2 millennia ago. We are witnesses to this victory. We live in testimony to the beauty of his way, his truth, and his life. How do we recognize his way, his truth, and his life? Let's listen to our Holy Father talking about Blessed Cardinal Newman. The driving force that impelled Newman along the path of conversion was conscience. But what does this mean? For him, conscience means man's capacity for truth, the capacity to recognize precisely in the decision-making areas of his life, religion and morals, a truth, the truth. At the same time, conscience, man's capacity to recognize truth, thereby imposes on him the obligation to set out along the path towards truth, to seek it and to submit to it wherever he finds it. Conscience is both capacity for truth and obedience to the truth, which manifests itself to anyone who seeks it with an open heart. The Pope is describing why our conscience freedoms are so important. We must be able to travel our own path of conversion, guided by our conscience, to our destiny. Otherwise, it will never be our destiny. Our secular culture does not recognize the existence of this truth, this link between our freedom and this truth. Conscience then becomes a decision based on personal preference, a whim. Disagreements in regard to conscience claims then devolve to power. The Church is the continuity of Christ in time. I'd like to share some of her teaching along the path toward truth that our Holy Father just spoke about, on human life, on married love. This is from section 9 of Humana Vitae. Married love is above all fully human, a compound of sense and spirit. It is not then merely a question of natural instinct or emotional drive. It is also, and above all, an act of the free will, whose trust is such that it is meant not only to survive the joys and sorrows of daily life, but also to grow, so that husband and wife become, in a way, one heart and one soul, and together attain their human fulfillment. It is a love which is total, that very special form of personal friendship in which husband and wife generously share everything, allowing no unreasonable exceptions, and not thinking solely of their own convenience. Whoever really loves his partner loves not only for what he receives, but loves that partner for the partner's sake, content to be able to enrich the other with the gift of himself. Married love is also faithful and exclusive of all other, and this until death. This is how husband and wife understand it on the day on which, fully aware of what they are doing, they freely vowed themselves to one another in marriage. Though this fidelity of husband and wife sometimes presents difficulties, no one has the right to assert that it is impossible. It is, on the contrary, always honorable and meritorious. The example of countless married couples proves not only that fidelity is in accord with the nature of marriage, but also that it is the source of profound and enduring happiness. Close quote on Humana Vitae. Who among us does not desire this kind of love? Who would not want this to become part of our lives? Do we not want our life with the life of our spouse to become one heart and one soul? Do we not want our children to meet that person with whom they will spend a faithful, honorable, meritorious life? This excerpt from section 9 of Humana Vitae describes the truth of our being made for another. We could share similar beautiful truths of our tradition in so many areas in which the culture around us is begging for guidance. Care of those near the end of life, care for unborn children, family life, social services, respect for the religious freedoms of all religions, including our Muslim brothers and sisters. The ministries that flow from this tradition must be allowed to flourish, or our nation will be the poorer in so many ways. The time of the person has come. Our time has come to engage the new evangelization and witness to our neighbors, our friends, our co-workers, the truth and beauty of Christ and His church. Christ has won. Christ has given us back our humanity. We live this and give testimony to this every day in the beauty of our smile, of our lives lived with each other as we journey to destiny. By the attractiveness of our witness, others will want to join us on this journey. Father Julian Caron recently wrote, "Only this way will we be able to be a different presence in the world. We must continually acknowledge that presence is not a synonym of power or hegemony, but of testimony. A human difference born of Christ's power to respond to the inexhaustible needs of the human heart. We must admit that the force that changes history is the same as that which changes the heart of man. The only power we recognize, the power we place our hope in, the power we hold most dear, is the power of the love of Christ Himself. Que la mirada de Cristo brille en nuestros ojos. May the gaze of Christ shimmer